Hey, what's good, everybody? It's Mozu back with another lovely video today. And today is my 12th video. And if y'all don't know what that means, basically, since how I've been doing each video, 1 through 12 now, like based off of astrology and the zodiac signs, 1 being Aries, all up until now being Pisces, this is like the ending of this era of my content in a way. And I don't know exactly what that means because I'm not sure what I'm going to do for my 13th video that may be a little different or, what I plan to do. So, either way though, y'all, I hope you've been having a wonderful day today. And I would like to mention that basically, like, this being my last video, Pisces, it is the sign of endings and it's the sign of imagination too and creativity. But its dark sides is also alludes to basically the dark side of Pisces being self-destruction in a way, and not in a way that you would expect. Like, what I've personally witnessed and noticed about people with like Pisces placements in their chart, me being one of them, my Venus is in that, but my brother, to use as an example, he has a moon in Pisces, so you may be able to infer with that he's a little more imaginative and creative with his emotions, which is very true. But it also means that those self-destructive tendencies apply, but they might not apply in the way you would expect. You might assume that maybe, dumb tendencies would lead him to be more expressive in a negative way with his emotions, or like that he just like feels things in a different way, in a wrong way. But in reality, that self-destructive tendencies tends towards more of him masking and hiding his emotions in a way. And I try to make sure that he feels heard, enough to open up to me and to express himself the way that he truly wants to, because that's very important. But I would like to talk today about how it's okay to make mistakes, how it's okay that sometimes I feel like we will be so along in our path with our self-growth, or we'll be trying so hard, so consistently, so for so long, either in a certain way of improving ourselves, like getting rid of a certain way of expressing something, or just replacing it with something else, because that's the important thing, y'all. It's not really about abandoning those parts of yourself. It's about finding a different way to express those parts of yourself that makes you feel more like yourself in a way. Because I feel like each and every one of us, we definitely have more positive ways and negative ways of expressing how we feel, And like I've said before, it's about our reactions. It truly is. Because our thoughts are not really us, like how I've mentioned before. Our thoughts really aren't us. We are the consciousness, the invisible thing that is observing our thoughts and our mind being our programming, our tool that is our brain, that is our mind, that we can truly use to our advantage or disadvantage. But we are each like born with this very incredibly complex and unique tool in our possession. And every single one of us, when we are born, we don't know how to use it. We're not really educated how to use it the right ways. Even well into our adult life, we won't really know, unless we're really seeking it, how to use this the most important machine and contraption and like device that you will ever get your hands on or be able to control or use, being your mind. Truly is. And that is my dog Shaq, y'all. That is my dog Shaq. And he loves barking at absolutely everything. Everything from a leaf to a human walking on the side of the street. No matter what they're doing, no matter who they are, that's what he does. And I appreciate him because honestly, I feel like me and my dog Shaq are almost like the mediators of my family in a way. We kind of ground our family in our own ways, though. I do it in a more like a clean, more cleansly way. Like I pick up after people a lot, I feel like. And my dog, though, Shaq, he does it in a way that he just inspires other people to be happy and appreciate the moment in a way. And that's his way of being a mediator. And it seems that he calmed down, y'all. So that's quite nice. But anyways, I feel like a lot of us will try to detach from these mental cycles, right? And we'll get really far into that, and we'll get really far into developing new ways to express ourselves and new ways to control and handle our emotions and our feelings and our anxiety and certain things. We'll get so far into that path that we'll not even realize that those past parts of ourselves are still a part of us, and they still may have an influence on our lives to this day. And it's not always easy. In fact, I don't really think it's ever easy to accept that. It's never really easy to repeat something or to repeat a mistake that you've made a long time ago and realize that and accept that for what it is, and accept that, falling is proof that you were standing in the first place, y'all. I'll be for real. Falling truly is proof that you were standing in the first place. And I don't mean like falling like throughout the day, all day, every single day, for months or weeks on end, and just constantly going either downhill or remaining stagnant at a negative point. There's definitely a difference between, I feel like there's definitely a difference between genuinely trying, like going out of your way to better your mental state and to find more healthy ways of expressing yourself, and realizing that, maybe something that I did today, wasn't maybe the most healthy way to handle that. But the way we have to think about it is just that. We have to think about it like that, because if we think about it in a way that in which we are shaming ourselves and we are like not necessarily disciplining ourselves, but just going out of the way to feel a certain anger or resentment against ourselves because we decided in that present moment to go back either on those cycles or do something that didn't really benefit us, or something that you could refer to as a negative cycle. And I just want y'all to know that it's truly okay, and that you can look back on those moments and be like, oh, I could have done something different in the present moment, because at that moment I was living in the present moment. But y'all have to realize that while you were thinking that, while you're really truly feeling that way, y'all are in the present moment. Y'all are using the present moment to do that. And it's really important how you use the present moment. And if you are truly realizing that, hey, in that moment, I wasn't doing everything that maybe I should have been doing. I wasn't doing everything the way that I wanted to be doing it. I wasn't doing everything in a way that maybe benefited myself in a positive way. We gotta just be able to, in a way, accept that so that we can move on. Because the only way we can move on is by using the present moment to our advantage. And if we're using the present moment to think about the past things that we've done, whether that past thing was moments ago or years ago, if we're using the present moment to think about that past thing as something that we're ashamed of, or something that we want to discipline ourselves to such an extent where it's not really, that it's stressing us out even more than we were stressed to do that or to get to that point. Because in reality, y'all, if y'all are, on this journey and stuff, that self-growth like aspect and everything, it will last a while usually, or it won't last that long. And you'll get to a certain point where you feel very drained or very dehydrated or very just, you know what I mean? You feel very like, I've been so consistent with this lately. I've put in so much work that I am in a state of mind where I could easily go back to my past ways, or go back and hinder my process in a way, in my progress. I think that it's just like, it can be really easy to do that sometimes. And I want y'all to know that you are accepted no matter what. Like, the universe will be throwing little stuff like on our paths every single day. It will happen every single day, yo. And it'll be in the most subtle ways sometimes. Sometimes it'll be huge events, huge things happen to you to make you realize something. But all those things really do is make us look within That's what the universe is trying to do. It's trying to get us to look within. And if we're not doing that on our own time, if we're not using the present moment to look within and to see what things we can improve about ourselves, or see what things we can replace with better things, if we're not actually actively doing that in the present moment, then usually the universe will send us something, being an event or a person even at times, to alter our path in that moment so that we can basically look within ourselves and reflect and realize that, hey, maybe there is something to change. Maybe there is something that I gotta do to really make sure it's something like this doesn't happen again. And not even something like this doesn't happen again, but to work towards making it something that isn't a part of me. I think it's really easy to say in the moment when you're disciplining yourself or when you did something wrong that, oh, I'm going to go this certain amount of time, or I'm going to never ever do that thing again. I'm never going to repeat that cycle again. I'm never going to do that again. But if y'all are just starting that process, you have to be realistic about it. Because in reality, humans, we tend to be a lot either less patient than we think, or we tend to be a lot more slow in the way that we think. And not even like a goofy way, like, oh, I'm slow, I'm dumb as hell. Like a way that is like, I feel like our physical body will not process things and handle things as fast as our actual mental state of mind. Because in a mental state, we can hear something or feel a certain way or look within and realize something that we need to change and do, and we can already adjust to that in our mental state quite quick, because that's how smart we truly are. That's how much potential we as humans have. That's the power of our mind in a way. But the thing is, our body works a very, very different way, a very separate way in a way. Like, we are interconnected with our body and our spirit and our mind, but there are different ways that our body and spirit and mind handle things and process things. And we definitely got to accept that, especially if something that you happen to be doing is in a way like a physical expression. You have to realize that your body isn't always going to adjust as fast as your mind is going to. And it's really about getting back up. It's not about falling, because everybody's gonna fall. Everybody's gonna have moments where they fall, y'all. Like, genuinely, everybody's gonna have moments when they fall. There certainly is a reason that autumn is called fall, in a way. After the summer, after the true highest point of nature in a way, and the heat, the highest it can go, there has to be moments like in autumn, where the leaves start to fall, the trees start to die, the plants start to die and wither away. And that is because, like, there has to be moments in our life, whether them being negative or positive, that allow us to reflect and that allow us to renovate within ourselves. And like I was saying in my last video, it's not about replacing, it's about renovating. It's about really realizing that that part of you is always going to be a part of you. Whether you try to distance yourself from it as much as you can or not, whether you try to, find different ways to handle it, find different ways to express yourself, it's always going to be there in reality, yo. It's always going to be a part of us, because it's something that happened in our physical body. It's something that happened in our spirit. It's something that happened in our mind, yo. So in that way, we have to build upon it. We have to renovate. And the way that I see it, I see our growth as a big castle, in a way. Some of the foundations of our castle can be very loose and can be very dark and very undeveloped in a way. They can be very unsturdy, unbalanced. These foundations of our castle can be. But if we decide to tear down that castle and rebuild it somewhere else, we are truly only going to see the same results. We're not really going to see much progress in a way. And I think it's about that renovation. It's about looking at that foundation and realizing the flaws and where it is, and realizing the things that aren't really contributing to the actual design, the actual thing you want to accomplish with that. It's about realizing that, and then building onto it. It's about keeping what has already been there and building onto it to make that foundation more sturdy so that you can continue to build upon that foundation, so that that foundation can increase into something that goes up and continues to go up and continues to be built upon. There has to be dark to balance the light, y'all. You can't be a fully light person. You can't be a fully dark person, because darkness comes from innocence and light is innocence in a way. Light completes darkness as darkness completes light. And darkness and light are one of the same as well. And with that knowledge, we have to realize that there needs to be a balance within us. There can't be a constant reinforcement of positive ways of dealing with things and thinking in our brain. There has to be some sort of acceptance with our negativity and our darkness within us. There has to be not necessarily an embrace of that dark energy, but an embrace to the extent where you are accepting that it's a part of you, and that you realize that, maybe some of those dark aspects are a part of me, but I don't really see them as something that really fits into what I want to do or what contributes to me, what really benefits me. No matter what, it's going to be a part of you. That's just how it is. But it's really about that renovation, y'all. It's really about being on that purpose and being on that mission and being on this journey, and really just getting lost in the present moment, and not in a way where you are being like lost in a way where you're so very focused on the anxiety of that moment, but in a way where you're trying to look for things that you can appreciate, either about yourself or about your surroundings. I think a lot of people will be led down to negative cycles of, either hate or addictions or certain things like that. And those things will not really contribute to us, And sometimes it'll take us a long time to realize that those things really aren't contributing to us. And that those things don't really have much of a place, not only in our future, but in where we are now. When we start to reflect and realize and look within, we realize some of the things that we do and say and feel aren't always accurate as to how we actually are and who we actually are. And that's because, like I've said before, our mind really is that tool. It really is a tool. So if you have gone your life, feeling a certain negative way or doing a certain negative cycle throughout your entire life, you can't really expect yourself to immediately adjust. You can't really expect yourself to immediately drop and abandon that cycle. You really just have to keep working on it. You really have to show the universe that you're committed to changing that. And if you're seeing it as a bad thing and you're taking the steps that you can to even realize after the fact that it's done that was wrong and that maybe I should have handled it differently, then you are already passing the test that the universe is presenting to you. And I think a lot of people will feel like that test really is in the moment that you are repeating that cycle, and it's in the moment that you are choosing to, feel that way or do that certain thing to relieve that part of yourself. And in reality, that test lasts afterwards. It lasts afterwards into the reaction. It lasts into your reaction of repeating that cycle in a way. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to explain. I'll be for real. It's kind of hard to explain, but I'm gonna get better with that, y'all, because I am also on a self-growth journey. Just because I come on this YouTube channel and I speak all this stuff that I do, I speak this stuff because it truly helps me. And I know that if I can benefit from it, I am just as human as you are. So you might be able to use it to your advantage as well. You might be able to benefit from it. You might be able to take some of this information and incorporate it, into your daily lives, into your journey, into your self-growth. And that's definitely one of my main goals behind this. Because not only am I developing myself with this, but I'm developing you, hopefully. I'm hopefully developing you with it too. And it's definitely time to realize how valuable we are, y'all. It's time. I'll be for real. It's been a long time, I feel like, where we have been comparing ourselves to other people or other things or things that we see on social media or things that we see online of how other people's lives are going, how they are presenting their lives and stuff. And in reality, it's definitely time for us to wake up. It's time for us to wake the fuck up, y'all, and realize that we are all valuable in our own unique ways as well. And even if somebody goes out of their way on social media or in your life to try to appear better than you or higher than you or, anything like that, that they truly aren't, yo. They truly aren't. Just as you are not better than them. It's not about that competition in a way. That's not really what life's about, yo. I think there's a good way to handle a competition, and there's definitely a good way to feel that in a way, but not all of life is a competition. Life is a balance of many things, and it certainly isn't all a competition, y'all. Y'all should be striving to be the greatest for yourselves, not for other people, Y'all should be striving to feel these positive things and change these things about yourself for yourself, because you're realizing by looking internally that, maybe those things really aren't contributing to who I really am and who I want to see myself as and what I want to accomplish in my future. It's about looking internally, y'all. And I want to mention some meditation as well, because I struggle. I'm going to be for real. I haven't meditated in a while. I haven't meditated in a long time. But I look within myself enough to the point where I don't always need meditation to ground myself, because I'm really willing to look within myself. Like, it's definitely more easy to be scared of yourself and looking within and seeing the wrong things about yourself than it is to just ignore it and put on a mask. Not only a mask that you yourself are observing, but everybody else around you is. It's not always bad to have a mask like that in which you are basically immersing yourself with a lower frequency than yours, and you're putting yourself at a frequency that matches other people so that you can connect with them, either make them laugh, make them happy, connect with them, harmonize with them, etc. That's not always a bad thing. You can't always stay on that high frequency, I feel like. And obviously it depends on who you're around too, but it's not always good to try to appear that high and mighty in a way. You should definitely immerse yourself with the perspective with others, or the perspective of nature, which is very important. Trying to view through your eyes how nature views through its eyes is really important in understanding yourself and looking within and finding peace in this world. Because y'all ain't really gonna find peace by judging other people or going out of your way to think about other people in a negative way, because it's not really contributing to what you are, no matter if those people deserve that or not. It's not really contributing to what you are in a way. You know what I mean? And y'all, maybe I'm yapping, y'all. Maybe I'm just yapping. Maybe I just get on this YouTube channel and I yap, and it's a non-stop yap fest, y'all. But deep down inside, I know that by what I'm doing, not only is it helping me, because it's helping me express myself more, and it's helping me communicate better and give advice and help other people, but I have had other people reach out to me and really tell me that this content helps them and that it inspires them. So for the sake of those people, I shall keep pursuing this. And for the sake of myself, I shall keep pursuing this. But realize that it's not always your bad when people go out of the way to hate you and go out of their way to not necessarily neglect you, but go out of their way to abandon certain parts of you because you're pursuing yourself, because you're doing things for yourself. If you're realizing that some people are starting to distance yourself because you're self-growing, then it might not be best to hang around those people. And obviously it depends, because life is what it is. I want y'all to take every last bit of this knowledge with a grain of salt, as I always say, because I don't know everything. I truly don't, and I never will. And I don't strive to know everything. I strive to learn more and more every single day. I strive to teach people more and more every single day. But I do not strive to learn everything. I do not strive to have control over other people, because I really do not want that. I've always been somebody that feared leadership and that feared having a sense of control over people, and feared that maybe I wasn't the right person for that. And I feel like with the realization of that and looking within with that, I realized that some of the best leaders in this world are people who don't even really see themselves as fit to be leaders. Because leading people isn't about a sense of control. It's about sharing, in a way. I feel like it's about sharing your knowledge and what you have experienced in a way that it helps other people understand what they are experiencing and what they can experience and what they are, which is human, because every single one of us are human, and every single one of us are different and unique and valuable in our own ways. You know, as much as we strive to be like another person, we can never be them, even if we're twins, right? Even if there's triplets, even if there's twins, you know, each and every one of those twins, they're not the same people. They each view life through their own eyes, which makes them different, which alters the path of those around them, which alters their own path, because it is their own path in a way. Like, you know, that might be a little confusing, but what I'm just trying to say is everybody's unique in their own way, y'all. And I feel like a lot of people take for granted that falling is only proof that you're standing. Falling is only proof that you were standing. And it's not about falling, it's about getting back up, y'all. It's about getting back up and realizing that, you know, it's okay, and that it's gonna be okay. And that truly, even if you made the wrong decision in that moment, it doesn't mean that the moment is taken away from you. It doesn't mean that the moment is taken away from you forever. It doesn't mean that you can't come back from that in a way, you know. So I just want y'all to know your potential and realize that y'all are truly valuable just the way you are, and that it's really time to start honoring yourself and valuing yourself the way that you deserve to be valued, and realizing that and accepting that it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to repeat those past cycles, as long as you know that in that moment it wasn't the best thing to do, and that you know that next time it's going to be different. Even if it isn't that different, even if you improve just in the slightest little bit, you have to see that growth and that, like, slightest little bit of contribution to your character. You have to see it that way. You have to see it that way. And if you don't see it that way, if you dwell and focus upon the negative things and the negative aspects of that situation, how you handled it negatively, then honestly, it's only going to repeat, y'all. It's only going to get worse, because the things that you think influence your outside world, because you internally influence the external. The internal is just a mirror of the external, in a way, as the external is a mirror of the internal. Just as light is a mirror of dark, just as light, you know. It's the balance, it's the yin and yang, it's the forces, and they always will be that way. And that's why I truly believe that a lot of people will like to say, especially nowadays in our world, in our society, that we live in hell. In reality, I feel like we live in heaven, y'all. Because I think a lot of our ideas of heaven is a perfect world of peace and harmony, where light pursues and reigns over all, and darkness doesn't have an influence. But in reality, if we lived in a perfect world like that, and we were born in that, the word perfect wouldn't exist, and the word good, and we wouldn't even be able to appreciate it, because it would be normal, in a way. So I think we just have to realize that everything does happen for a reason. And even if you don't truly believe that everything happens for a reason, even if you believe something didn't happen for a certain reason, or didn't happen for a reason at all, then see it as a reason. See it as a reason to fuel your existence. See it as a way to fuel your expression. See it as a way to change a certain part about yourself, or renovate a certain part about yourself, you know. See it as that. I think that's important, y'all. But anyways, I appreciate every single one of y'all, and I want y'all to know that y'all are loved by the universe so intensely and that your emotions are incredibly magnetic, and so are your thoughts. And they're magnetic in a way that your negativity will bring negativity and your positivity will bring positivity, period. That's just how it is in reality, y'all. And that's what I'm trying to really convey with these messages, so that y'all realize that it's more important in the present moment to focus on those positive aspects and focus on what you did do today, and not more so what you didn't do. And even if you are focusing on what you didn't do, don't focus on that. Focus on renovating that for a different time, or in a moment right now. Renovating it in a way where you are handling it completely differently now. And it's really about that acceptance, y'all. Just like I titled my last video. Acceptance is key. Appreciation is to be. It truly is, y'all. And I love every single one of y'all. As always, even if you got to this moment or not, it's a long-ass video. I get it if you didn't make it to this point. I truly do. And I accept you just the way you are. And I appreciate you. And just remember to not have so much judgment for other people, and realize that everybody's, living their own path, and everybody's living through their own eyes. Just realize that other people aren't objects of your own internal expression in a way, whether it's negative or not. People are not that. People are people. People are what they are. People are their own lives, their own past, and everything, And I appreciate y'all so much. And I hope that you have a beautiful rest of your day, and that you continue to view your mistakes as fuel to keep going, as fuel to keep seeing the good in life, and keep seeing the good in yourself, and realizing that acceptance is key, y'all. And I appreciate every single one of y'all. And I wanted to show you this crystal because I thought it was important. And it's a crystal I feel like represents the sign of Pisces. It's really pretty. I feel like it represents the sign of Pisces really well. So I feel like it's good to end this video out on that note, y'all. And I appreciate every single one of y'all. And peace to all of y'all. I will see you in my new era of video making. I shall. It might not be that different, but I want to make it a little different in a way. And y'all will see. Y'all will see on Wednesday. And yeah, I appreciate every single one of y'all. Peace.